You know, prepping channels always talk about a cyber attack. That's been more and more lately, but there's so many physical deficiencies in our infrastructure. And well, a cyber attack is possible in this day and age anymore. There's just so many actual physical boots on the ground vulnerabilities in our infrastructure, whether it's electricity or it's food distribution or it's water or it's the availability of natural gas or propane so you can stay warm. Up here in the northern states like this, it's the most important reason to prep because of the vulnerabilities in the infrastructure and the supply systems that we have here in North America. More critical infrastructure just across the river there in Ontario. Hey everybody, this is Modern Refugee. We do a lot of drives around our state, and we look for places where there's resources, and we also look for places that would be beneficial if there was some type of SHTF situation. And the flip side of that is vulnerabilities. We also look and kind of analyze vulnerabilities, and one of the things that just blows my mind here in North America is the vulnerabilities of critical infrastructure in every state I go in. There is something that we run across where it's just a massive vulnerability in my mind, and I don't understand why these places aren't protected more. And I don't know what the answer to the situation is, or the answer to the problem is, but critical infrastructure. You look down the St. Clair River here, you can see there is a massive coal-fired power plant, and there is a transmission line that goes across the St. Clair River into Ontario, Canada. So this is a critical piece of infrastructure for not only us here in Michigan, but also our friends in Canada. When we drove past that complex, there's basically no security at that complex whatsoever, except chain link fences and no trespassing signs. And because that's a coal-fired power plant, there are massive piles of coal there. Well, coal is flammable, and you can see where a massive pile of anything that's flammable could be a problem. And when I go out and I look for different pluses and minuses in an area, I always keep in mind these large infrastructure type projects and infrastructure areas, because if something happened at a place like that, you would definitely want to get away from something like that. So knowing where these potential vulnerabilities are in these large pieces of infrastructure is something I think every prepper needs to keep on their radar. And while we were driving around today, I noticed that, and it was kind of glaring to me when we drove past that, so I wanted to stop and just sort of mention that. So if you've never thought about large pieces of infrastructure in your area, you might want to look at that in a different light. You want to look if they got security around there and what you would do if you had to get out of that area. But anyways, this is Modern Refugee. I appreciate all my subscribers. Hope you guys got a little information, a little entertainment out of this video as always, and you guys have a good one.